She don't even like me like that. What is she talking about? Take you out for what? Fuck it. February 14th is Valentine's Day, and what most people desire during this time of the year is to have someone special to spend that day with. And not to mention, the media does a great job with feeding us with all of these picture perfect ideas of how that day is supposed to look like. You know, the romantic day, the romantic date, the romantic gifts, the romantic flowers and roses, and the romantic person themselves. Don't get me wrong though, none of these things are bad things to hope for. But let's get this straight and let's stop lying to ourselves. Not everybody's day is gonna look like that, and that is perfectly fine. Here's the thing, if you're single and you have no one special to spend that day with, no pressure. There are other ways to show and celebrate love. After all, the romantic love that has been shown to be the standard kind of love for that day is just one out of the 4 types of love we have. You can show and celebrate love to your friends, family, mankind, and any form of life out there. Most importantly, you can show love to yourself. You don't have to put yourself under the pressure to find a date for that day in order to feel validated. And you should not settle for less because of the fear of being alone. You deserve to love yourself and to be with someone or a group of people who genuinely love you. Before we start this episode, I want to give a big shout out to Club Band 2. Thank you guys for having me out here at one of your events, Latin Nights. I appreciate you guys. Here's their Instagram handle, so make sure you guys follow them and look at their page and see whatever events they have coming up in the Austin area. They have a lot of things going on, so make sure you give them a follow and attend all of their events as well. Hey, what up? What's your name?
My name is Melody.
Melanie. How you doing
Melody.
tonight? Oh, Melody.
Yeah.
Are you feeling this melody right here? Listen to the music.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. What is your idea of love?
I think love requires sacrifice, and I think you can't choose who you fall in love with, but I think it's a choice who you actively consider to love every day.
Yeah, because of all the grind that has to do with loving someone, because it's not easy, right?
Yes. The sacrifice, yeah.
Yeah. Are you in a relationship right now?
No, not really.
Not really? Why not, if I may ask?
I mean, it just depends on right person, right time. I don't really feel like I don't want to be in a relationship for the sake of being in a relationship. I feel like I have to know that it's the right person.
Yeah, it's really interesting you say that, because I feel like a lot of people just hop into relationships, and I've been there too, but not necessarily taking into account is this person actually worth all of that sacrifice and all of that time. So how do you know that person when you see that person who's worth all of that to you?
I think it starts with you. You have to know that you're mentally and emotionally ready and have something to offer that person. And then you can decide whether or not you're even ready to be in a relationship. But also, I feel like it really just takes getting to know somebody. And I think sometimes we rush that part because we are afraid of being alone.
There's this saying that it's not good to get into a relationship when you're lonely. So, do you feel lonely right now, or you just feel like you're in the phase of your life where you need to be with someone, or you want to be with someone?
I'm in the point now where I have a good social life, and I feel like I'm ready to invite somebody in, where I have a lot of my own activities I'm already doing, and it's just a matter of just inviting that person in if they're willing to be a part of it.
So it's not loneliness?
No, not really. I'm kind of happy where I am right now.
I think the key is be happy where you are, and then invite someone over.
Yes.
And then it's not loneliness.
Yes.
What does loneliness look like, though?
It's when you have no social circle, no friends, no one to really talk to at the end of the day to just kind of air out your problems. I think the issue people run into is that their significant other is the only person they can go to, and they don't have a network of friends or family to really talk to. And that can be a big problem when you're in a relationship, because that's your sole source of everything.
That makes a lot of sense. Do you think loneliness could also mean that you're not in touch with who you are?
Yeah, because you don't feel like if you don't feel like you have your own purpose or your own higher power that you believe in, then that can be a major problem, right? So if you don't feel like you're on a path of something that you set your mind to, then yeah, you're going to feel lost. And that's when you get into all sorts of different vices that kind of cloud what's really going on in your life.
You'll sacrifice a lot of your standards and stuff like that if you're afraid of being alone. So you're willing to put up with whatever just to be with somebody else. But what happens is you end up doing a lot of damage to yourself in the long run by, sacrificing a lot of those standards. So I think it's better to be alone. You can be in a relationship and still feel very lonely if it's not the right person.
Yeah, absolutely, and that is very true because not everybody in a relationship is happy in that relationship. So in some cases, it's better to be alone than to be in a relationship where you're unhappy. Have you ever settled for less in the past?
No, I don't think so. I'm not the type.
You have high standards. Have you been in a toxic relationship?
Oh yeah, definitely. When I was in my early 20s.
Have you?
Same thing.
I think we all have it as a learning opportunity, yeah.
What are some of the traits that shows you like, oh, you're definitely toxic, get the fuck out?
Gaslighting, manipulative. You see that later on, so hindsight 2020.
Selfish. They think about what's good for them and not you.
You know what? I feel like when a person doesn't want to grow together, I think that's probably a really toxic trait.
What are some things though that might show up initially, like the first date, but you might not really catch up on?
I love taking women out to dates at a restaurant because I like seeing how they treat the waiter, like someone that they're never gonna see again.
Yeah, say what he said, because if you see how they treat strangers, you'll get an idea of how they'll treat you.
How about you?
I actually don't like doing restaurants on the first date. Because that's way too much time commitment for someone that I barely know. I think when I meet them, I like to ask very basic questions and just how they answer it, and some flags are they talk too much about their exes. Or it also depends on what they talk about, right? I care about things that are important to me, and if they talk about things that are not important to me, that's probably not gonna work.
Well, I was married in my 20s, so I actually got married super young. So I was married at 22.
22.
Yeah, so I was engaged 21, married 22, built a life with somebody, then got divorced, and then started over again.
I'm sorry to hear that. What did you learn from that failed relationship, if I may say that?
Boundaries.
Yeah, boundaries?
Boundaries. Yeah, so it's boundaries and frame, and it was on me because when I was in the very beginning, I didn't have any boundaries. It was just you do whatever you want, whatever makes you happy, and there was no frame or leadership on my end, which caused a lot of friction as things went along.
It's as the man, you weren't taking a lot of lead, is that what
In
it
the
is?
beginning, yes, that was the problem.
But now that you know that, I'm sure you're gonna do that in this new relationship.
I don't tolerate it, right?
You guys told me something back there. You were like, you what?
Each other.
We love each other.
Well, you're not what?
Together.
Okay. So it is possible to love your friend but not be together, right?
Kidding me? Fuck yeah.
It is possible for your friend to be your Valentine, but you necessarily don't have to be together.
Oh yeah.
I love her so much. There's something inside me that has this strong feelings of I freaking love her, and I don't want to do it with her. I'm not
Sexually attracted. We are family.
sisters. We're
So
sisters.
I like the fact that you're saying that. So it is possible to love someone to that extent, but not necessarily have that eros love for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's hardcore.
What are the things that define that love though?
A connection.
It's a total connection, but it's sometimes when you when you texted me about the HEB having plans, you can come get plans, and anyways, there's this HEB and plans, and I just felt oh my god, she thought of me. Out of all the people in Austin that you could have contacted, and maybe you did contact other people, but you thought about me.
Thinking about the one person you care about who might like this, who might not, but
it's somebody that immediately popped into your head. Right.
That's beautiful. By the way, guys, today's her birthday, so wish her a happy birthday. Happy birthday. Yeah, happy birthday. Woo! Jasmine, are you guys together?
We're not. We just met tonight.
I met through a mutual friend. We're just here for ladder night.
Are you open to finding something tonight, though? It's Valentine's Day. It's almost Valentine's Day.
I'm not opposed to it, but right now I'm not opposed to it.
Okay, are you open to finding something?
I'm open.
Okay, are you looking for dates right now for February the 14th?
Never really looking. I just kind of open to it, and whatever falls to me, you know?
They always fall on your lap. That's what it sounds like.
Not necessarily, no.
Would you be attracted to someone who goes half on the bill with you for Valentine's Day dinner? As, you know, the same way you'll be attracted to someone who paid your whole bill?
Never.
Never. So you want him to take care of everything?
Yeah. If you want to go half and half, that's a friend. Like I'm going to dinner with like my girls or something. Like.
Do you think she should?
Like I don't.
Do you think she should get herself on the date, or you think you should get it?
Especially the first date. Nah, I always get it.
What should the man do that maybe popular opinion doesn't say so?
Like on the first date, I like to plan it. Like to, it's because you need to think of the long term of it. Like think about it. Like what's the purpose of a date? And I don't really agree with like 50-50. Like because it's like never 50-50. Like
do you believe that you find your person when you're not searching?
It happens. That's how I found my first one. Yeah.
Wow. So do you think that's how you're gonna find the next?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good luck to you, man. What has been your worst experience in a relationship?
Other than getting abused,
Ooh, you got abused?
I got sexually, physically, and emotionally abused by one guy, right? There was another guy after that who was horrible, right? But at the end of the day, I knew he was a misogynist, so I was able to mentally, process that quickly, move on, realize that that wasn't smart to get into. And then the third guy, that one was the kicker.
Can you sense them from a mile away now?
No.
Are you guys married or you guys are dating?
We're dating.
You're dating?
Yes.
For how long?
A year.
A year. Needless to say, you guys are like each other's Valentines, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you plan on showing each other love this year?
This year, we each did something for each other. Like she reserved a dinner for me, and then I reserved an activity for us tomorrow. So
before you guys got together, though, how were you showing love to yourself as single people?
I don't know.
I was just spending time with myself. Like I would go out to eat by myself and just be with myself.
Is that how you show love to yourself?
Yeah, just do what I like to do.
I would just do stuff for myself, like get my toes done or something, or my nails or something like that. Stuff like that, buy myself clothes, stuff like that.
That makes sense. But how did you know he was the one and she was the one? Thus far, though, because you're still together after 1 year.
Yeah.
So there has to be some sense of, I'm feeling pretty good where I'm at right now.
Because she actually she learned my love language, and she shows me how she loves me the way I feel it. So she gives me affection, and she gives me words of affirmation. So and I do the same for her. And she does more for me than any other girl I've ever been with. So
yeah, how did you know it was him?
I didn't lose my confidence.
That's really deep. What do you mean by you didn't lose your confidence? I want to know.
So when you get in a relationship and you just lose yourself, you kind of start putting on some weight and stuff like that. I did not lose my confidence ever with him. And he does show me he knows my love language, and he shows me he loves me the way I want to be loved. So I just knew I knew it was the one.
You're looking to be in something. How do you know it's that time of your life where you're ready to settle down?
I think for a man, it's when you have your income and your assets in place, when you're ready to invite a woman into your life.
So before then, you don't think people should invite a woman into their life?
Unless you're really young and you're willing to start together in the beginning, yes. But I think if you're in between, probably not.
Have you ever been in a stage in your life where you're like, okay, I'm ready for something serious?
Yes.
Okay. How were you able to make it look like you were open to finding love, but at the same time you weren't coming off too desperate?
I think when I did have a long relationship, I wasn't looking for love. I was very confident in myself, and I think like I wasn't chasing, you know? Like when you're confident in yourself and you're doing your own thing, you attract that. You attract a confident person. You attract someone that's on the same frequency and vibe, you know? And that's all we want. And like, I think God puts people in your life where you're at the same level. And so when you're confident in yourself and you're happy and in love with yourself, you find that person.
It seems like that's the theme for tonight. It's like most people tell me whenever you're not looking for something, that's when you find it.
Exactly, because when you look too hard, you know, it's like you're forcing something. And true love is freedom, and you really just find that safe space when you're not looking because you're able to be accepted for who you are.
Do you think being on dating apps is you forcing, or it's you opening other avenues to you finding somebody?
I think it depends. Depends on your mental state. At that point, I think like a lot of times you can kind of be distracting yourself on dates, but at the same time you can be open to seeing who's around you, because at the same time, you know, you still have to have a conversation with people. You still have to kind of vet through people and be like, okay, do we connect? Are we on the same page? And then kind of be open to meeting them. And then at that point, when you meet them, you're like, we either vibe or we don't.
Are you all single, first of all?
Hell yeah. Oh no, not all. I just started dating.
You just started dating?
Yeah, like 3 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago?
3.
3 weeks ago. How do you feel about that?
I feel amazing.
You feel amazing?
The most important that I was in love with myself initially, and then I met someone who is also in love with himself, and it's nice when two people who are not desperate finding some other great people and building something great, you know.
I hope you guys are sensing how these things connect. Now, these guys don't know each other, but they're saying almost the same thing. How about you? Are you single or you're in a relationship?
You know, I know you want to ask me about love. So love can hurt you also, not only make you high. So I don't know how to tell about that, but right now I am in a spot with love inside me, but it's hurt me.
I'm looking into your eyes. You have pretty eyes.
Thank you. Are you looking to be with me?
Anything can happen.
Whoa, anything can happen. I guess it's almost Valentine's Day.
You asked me about love. You want to experience love? Go to Barton Springs, put a blanket, pop some shrooms, 2 grams at least. You're gonna know everything about love.
Alright guys, so that's the end of this episode. I hope you guys were able to take away a lot from these interviews. You were able to learn from some people's mistakes, able to identify some things you need to work on, able to identify some traits in some people that you don't want to be with, and the likes. I remember, I'm not trying to impose my own opinion on anybody else. I just want everybody to be aware and informed of some of the things other people have experienced in their lives. With that being said, and as I always say, please, let's stop violence. Use your words instead of your weapons to resolve issues. I'll see you guys next week. I have to enjoy Latin night right now. Take care.